fair city of Dublin plays host to Ireland's Premier Classic, the £60,000 Irish Greyhound Derby final, won in fine style last year by Springtime.
They're racing into the third bend. Springtime is back in front by a length. Mr. Buzz is second. They're clear of it on third, High Dingle. But running the home turn, it is Springtime who's out in front. Springtime is going to win it for Gerald Watson.
This year, the English-trained Rapid Ranger bids to become the first dog to win the English and Irish derbies in the same year. He was simply awesome 3 months ago at Wimbledon.
This Rapid Ranger leading by 2 lengths from Rackett-Jet, who's putting in a break before it's behind. There comes Deerfield Sunset as they come off the final bend. It's Rapid Ranger stamping his class. He is the winner of the William Hill Greyhound Derby. Success to track 2, Rapid Ranger.
5 classy hounds stand in his way, and in track record holder Judicial Pride, the English Derby champion faces a formidable foe.
Coming round the second last bend, and Judicial Pride out in front, got this field well strung out as they come off the final bend, a bit wide, but it doesn't matter. Trapped a line success, Judicial Pride.
So can Rapid Ranger make history, or will the Irish keep the trophy at home? You'll find out here live on Sky Sports. Yes, Kate Miller, Fulcher to Dublin, especially to Shelbourne Park for a great night's greyhound racing. Paddy Power night it is here at Shelbourne Park. And the big race, of course, is the paddypower.com Greyhound Derby coming up at 18 minutes past 10. Very warm welcome to you to Irish racing. It's my first time here as well, and I'm sure we're in for a great night's sport. We've got 4 races to come on the card tonight, apart from the big one coming up at 10:18. The other 3 races on the card as well. We've got a couple of races over the longer distances. We've got an 860-yard race. We kick off with that at 12 minutes past 9. And the 9:35, a couple of English runners, their English interest in Bubbly Prince and Let Us Know as well in running in traps 5 and 6. Then we're on to the consolation final at 9:58, and the big one comes up at 10:18. Could be a great night for Rapid Ranger, of course. If he does happen to win, that'll be the first greyhound to win the English and Irish derbies in the same year. There is one non-runner to tell you about on the card as well. That's in the 9:35 trap 4. Penny Spotlight doesn't run. And the reserve there is Casey Jones. She's going to run from trap 4. Well, I'm joined early on in the programme here by Noel Hines, who's Managing Director of Shelbourne Park here. Thanks for joining us, Noel. I see you've done a lot of refurbishments. It's a great place, isn't it?
Yes, we're launching our latest extension tonight. But the bit of work we've done before this has, in the past 5 or 6 years, transformed our business.
The restaurant actually at the top there is out in the open, isn't it?
Yes.
The cover comes down on a roller if it's inclement weather.
It does indeed. We guarantee the weather for tonight. That was one of the bonuses, in fact, that we got. But we worked very hard on, intercession with the people above, and they looked after us.
Do you have any other plans for here, or is this?
No, we'll sit on this one and try and fill it for the next couple of months next year, as we've done before. In fact, it's extra comfort for the patrons who come here.
Also, Harold Cross, the other track in Dublin, is yours as well. I mean, is that going through similar sort of stages?
It got a full remake, in fact, which culminated in the reopening last month. And it's been busy ever since. Same kind of standards, smaller stadium.
I mean, the crowds are obviously up, but they have been in England. I suppose they are over here as well, are they?
Oh, we're up 3-fold over 5 years, and still growing. And we've opened new stadiums in Cork and in Tralee as well. And it's part of a network redevelopment in Ireland, which will, I think, be finished in about 3-4 years' time.
So what do you think the reason for the increase is? Television coverage or just a more general interest in the sport?
No, we've reinvented the product. It's not just greyhound racing anymore. It's entertainment focused on greyhound racing, but we provide a range of packages right across the price range. And people of all ages come here now because they find it a nice, relaxing, informal night out. But we try and do the good things, the basic things right, like nice food, comfort, warm surroundings, and a bit of fun.
Yes, and obviously, how many summers a week do you race here?
Three times here, twice in Harold's Cross.
And do you find the restaurant? I know the restaurant is fully booked tonight, but do you find it booked most evenings?
Every Saturday night we book about a week to 2 weeks ahead, which is about as much as any restaurant in Ireland will book ahead. But our hospitality suites book about 3 months ahead all the time.
Really, and it's very good, isn't it? I mean, is that a general trend just across Ireland? I mean, I know Cork down in the south has just built a new grandstand, and it's just a general trend.
Shelbourne Park was the pilot, and I think it's established the fact that it's now in different business. It's night entertainment focused on greyhound racing, but with comfort. So the old image is rapidly being sort of eroded. Thank goodness.
Yes.
It took a long time to get rid of it. And Cork has actually benefited to a large extent from what we established here, although it's a good place in its own right.
Have you got a maximum crowd here tonight? I know the restaurant, I say, is fully booked.
We've about about 6,500 people. You know,
But the football being on as well doesn't help, perhaps.
No, it's complementary. In fact, all the television sets are tuned in there, so
yes.
they've just recorded goal number 2 for Ireland, so it's looking like a good night for us.
Yeah, so it is a good night, anyone. Thanks for coming and talk to us, and good luck with the future anyway.
Nice to see you here.
Thanks very much. Well, Jonathan Hobbs, of course, is over here as well, our resident expert on the Sky Greyhound coverage. It's my first time here. I'm sure it's yours as well, Jonathan, is it?
I've been here before, Dave. I went just before the refurbishments and what have you. Massive investments here, and mixing with the high and mighty. Feel privileged to be here, and certainly where you're concerned, you're very high up there. But cracking race, and hopefully for the Brits, we're looking for the history books to be torn up and rewritten by Rapid Ranger, and cross fingers that will happen.
Yes, it does look a cracking race. Let's have a look likely to bet for the big one then coming up a little bit later on. These are Ted Hegarty's prices. Ted, a leading layer on the track here. At the moment, he's 7-4 each of 2, Judicial Pride and Rapid Ranger. They look to dominate the market. They'll probably dominate the race as well. 11-2 then the Red Dog Curry Kid. On the 12-1 mark is Miss Tetley. 25-1 Ballyho Cyclone. And also 25-1 is Golfing Lad as well. Well, our first race is imminent. That's the 9-12 race. So let's get straight to looking at a closer look at the greyhounds then for our first race. And here in trap 1 is Lady Honcho. Lady Honcho trained in County Meath by the owner Stuart Lanning. Do you know much about this one, Jonathan?
Well, this greyhound have been walking around here. They say she's got a little bit too much to do. She's got fair form at Dundalk, ran second at Newbridge last time, but pretty much taking a step up in class.
She could be prominent though early. She's got that sort of pace, hasn't she?
Got that sort of pace, but going over a little bit of a longer trip today, so certainly have to cut loose early doors.
Let's move on then to trap 2, Liz Dust Flash. This is trained by James Healy. Not the most consistent, it seems to me, but if she was to beat these events, even in the right mood, she might have a chance.
Well, she knows all about the game. She's October 96, almost 4 years old, well bred as well, a sister of Prince of Tinra, the former Puppy Derby winner at Harold's Cross back in 1998. For me, she's a consistent sort, she's a canny sort. She's going to go very, very close today and make it between 2 and 6. Not disgraced behind runaway winner Glenski Nijinsky last week, and this, well, you'd have to say is a lot easier despite being over a longer trip.
Yeah, she's going to finish well as well. In trap 3 is Pen Nicky, trained by Brendan Murphy. And when you look at the caption here, the weights, just remind you that the weights here are in pounds and ounces. They haven't actually gone metric over here. Well, they have probably gone back again, but it's in pounds and ounces, the weight on the right-hand side of the dog's name there, Pen Nicky. If this one got a lead, I thought I could see this one hanging on.
Well, certainly he's got fair form here before, over 525 yards, owned by Stuart Lockhart, a Buckinghamshire-based Englishman. This greyhound was in Michael Fortune's 10 to follow at the beginning of the year in the Racing Post, and really hasn't disgraced Michael, has won her fair share of races. Again, not disgraced behind Glenski Nijinsky last time. We've got a little bit to find with Liz Duff Flash on that form.
Here's a closer look then at trap 4, Passage of Time from the Grace Carroll kennels. Fairly decent stare at Dundalk, which is up near the border. Looks to have a tougher task though here.
Yeah, certainly been very tough to beat up there, Passage of Time, but really didn't show that much pace behind Piper Solo here last time. That was on the August the 24th, 43.22. Will certainly have to step up on that form, you think.
In trap 5 is Rightful Flash, trained by Michael Power. She's still a puppy, but she's got some decent form.
Well, yeah, stepping up in distance again, this greyhound. She's a November 1998 whelp. She is the youngest runner in the race. Her best days ahead, taking a chance, stepping her up in trip. But, well, she's looked pretty good in her races, not least last time at Waterford. And on the breeding, where she's a half-sister of the British race at Reactabon, Flash and Autumn Club as well. She'll got age on her side, Dave, but I think she's going to have to improve on that Waterford run. She could find this a little bit tough with a little bit of pace on her outside.
Leading the lineup is Get Who You Like in trap 6, trained by Phyllis Moynihan. This one starts to pick him up at halfway. I mean, Staines, it's forte, isn't it?
Well, they tell me she's been crying out for this trip, Get Who You Like. She's been running very, very well over 750 yards. No great shakes over 575 last time, but that was far too short. She's been staying on extremely well over 750. They've looked to step her up in trip. They've got the ideal race here, the ideal pitch out wide. She's a very wide runner, and for me, she's the big danger to the 2-dog.
Yeah, first step at this trip, and I think she's been crying out for it as well. Well, Errol Blythe is over here with us as well. Errol's looking after the betting for tonight's meeting as well as the commentaries. So let's say good evening to Errol and tell us the first show for our first race.
Good evening, Dave. Good evening, everybody. Punters are sport for choice here. There's 21 boards in front of me. Liz Duff Flash opened up the 6-4 favourite here on the boards, then went into 5-4, but back out to 6-4 again. The bookmakers were very cautious about trap 5, Rightful Flash. Didn't put a price up for a long time, opened up at 2s, went out to 5-2, then out to 3s, but backed in again to 2-1. 7-2 about trap 6, Get Who You Like. That's drifting from 3s. You can see that the others are the outsiders. That's Pen Nicky in trap 3, it's 7-1, and it's 14-1 trap 1, Lady Honcho, 14-1 trap 4, Passage of Time.
Well, here's a predictor then for this 9-12 at Shelbourne coming up. Well, all done by Peter Meldrum, and he's gone for trap 5 to beat 6. Yeah, it's rather a surprise, I thought, there, Jonathan.
Well, it's got fair form around the track, so certainly, as I mentioned, at Tralee and Waterford as well, 41.80 last time. Interesting to see trap 6, though, Get Who You Like. Remember, stepping up in trip as well. And trap 2 there, Liz Duff Flash. Well, Peter rates this greyhound only 5th best. Surprising, has certainly got some decent form, especially last year. Ran a couple of finals here, the 750, the Breeders' Cup 750 and the Millennium 750 as well. Admittedly, Dave, she's getting on a little bit. October 96, remember, she does turn 4 next month. But she's a consistent sort. She's very rarely out of the frame. I think that's why they've opened her up as favourite. There will be some support behind her, I'm sure.
You know, there was an early market move, wasn't there? 3-1, they knocked her in straight away to 2-1. And she's still offered at 2-1. Liz Duff Flash, last time we saw, was 6-4. Now gone to 7-4. But more detail from Errol.
Yes, they've allowed trap 2, Liz Duff Flash, the more experienced marathon runner in this field, drift out 7-4. In fact, 2-1. I can see 2-1 in front of me about trap 2, Liz Duff Flash. Weakening all the time. It's because of the support for trap 5, Rightful Flash, the young greyhound in this field. And it's been back from 3-1 down to 2-1. In fact, that's gone now. 2s, 7-4, 2s on some boards if you sniff around. So plenty of action here for this race here, over 860 yards. And I can tell you that trap 5, Rightful Flash, is the 7-4 favourite. The hare on the move for our first live race here at Shelbourne Park. There's a terrific atmosphere. Lots of people packing the stands as the bunny comes round for the traps. Don't forget, it's 1.5 laps for this race. We're expecting the hare to be moving shortly. He gives another wave, and hopefully we'll get a bit of action. There goes the bell. We're going to get the hare running now for this race. Just update you that Liz Duff Flash is 7-4 also. Rightful Flash at around 2-1 at the moment. They're flip-flopping these favourites. Trap 6, Get Who You Like, currently showing at around 7-2, third best in the betting ring. And away we go, and best away here, trap 2, Liz Duff Flash, along with trap 4, Passage of Time. They share the lead. On the inside there you can see 1, Lady Honcho, making a move up into second place. Oh, what's happened to trap 2? Liz Duff Flash didn't handle that first bend at all well, and is now last as they go past the stands, a circuit to go. Trap 4, Passage of Time, leading from 1, Lady Honcho. After these come 6, Get Who You Like, as they go around the 3rd and 4th turns. And it's trap 4, Passage of Time, leading here by a good 2 or 3 lengths at the moment from 1, Lady Honcho in second place. Trying to stay on his Pen Nicky there with a white jacket, you can see. Liz Duff Flash still at the back, making a move now. Rightful Flash as they come around the second last bend. Passage of Time leads the way. She's still got a healthy looking lead of 3 lengths over Rightful Flash in second. Then comes trap 6, Get Who You Like. Well, it's going to be Passage of Time lasting home by about a length or so. Down the line, oh, close in the end. Trap 4, Passage of Time, with trap 6, Get Who You Like, who is finishing really powerfully inside the closing stages. A thrilling finish to our first race, the PaddyPower.com 860, over 860 yards. You can see at the start, Passage of Time got a great start. Trap 2, Liz Duff Flash, all at sea at this very first bend. You can see it's in a useful pitch going into the turn. Trap 1, Lady Honcho, worries it into the turn. And you can see it just moves out wide as trap 2, hampers trap 5 in the process for Rightful Flash. And as they come into the straight for the first time, and Passage of Time starts to build up a lead, goes 2 or 3 lengths clear from Lady Honcho, the outsider, with a circuit to go. You can see 6, Get Who You Like, in a prominent position. Trap 1 just seemed to go towards the rails there, and 6, Get Who You Like, had to check out wide as they head down the far side for the final time. Passage of Time still on the bunny, still leading. A big drifter opened up at 6 on the board and drifted out to something like 12-1 at the end of the race, but still leading here some 3 or 4 lengths. Lady Honcho's crying enough now in the red jacket. Moving up was trap 5, Rightful Flash. That's the November 98 youngster, and finishing fast now is Get Who You Like in the striped jacket on this near side. I can tell you that Passage of Time has held on for victory here as they come up towards the second winning line for this race. Passage of Time just on the nod, lasting home from Get Who You Like, who was finishing really well inside the closing stages. As you watch the closing stages again towards the winning line, from this angle, not much between them, but in the end, Trap 4, Passage of Time, has held on, and it's one for the bookmakers here, Dave. Passage of Time, your winner.
Very tight finish then for our first race. Just Trap 4 getting up or hanging on in the last couple of strides from the flying home Trap 6. The winner returned at 16-1. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got other races to come, of course, plus the feature at 18 minutes past 10. Rapid Ranger going in the paddypower.com Irish Greyhound Derby. Massive crowds here tonight at Shelbourne Park. We'll see you after this short break. One of the best ways to see Dublin is on the tour bus. Takes you all around the city, sees all the major sites. They've got some lovely girls here in Dublin's Fair City as well. University as well, one of the features you can see on that bus tour. There is plenty to see, of course, in Dublin. It's just been voted the most visited city in Europe for weekend visitors. It's overtaken from Paris. We've had one race then. Let's check out the SPs of the first race here. Passage of Time, the winner, returned at 16-1, beating Get Who You Like in Trap 6 at 7-2, and Liz Duff Flash, the 7-4 favourite, was back in third place. The winning time there, 49.43 seconds. The winner there returned at 16-1. Well, Errol Blythe is very busy tonight. Apart from doing the betting and also doing the commentary, he's got himself in the restaurant as well. Errol, over to you.
Well, thanks, Dave. Yes, welcome to the new rooftop restaurant that they have here at Shelbourne Park. It is a terrific view. There's a terrific atmosphere up here as well. Just to say that there's various connections on various tables. We're going to have a quick wander around in a moment or two. I'm going to head back towards where the winning lines are, which is this side of me. And I've got Ray White somewhere around here. Lots of people with orange and rosettes. And I don't believe it. He's actually gone to the toilet. So let's come this way. Come this way. I had a quick word with him earlier, and he said he'd be back in a moment. He's actually got another greyhound. Ray White owns, of course, the Rapid Ranger. The greyhound is going for the bonus tonight, the 40,000 bonus in the paddypower.com Irish Derby. He's drawn in Trap 5 and, of course, trained by Charlie Lister. And young Ray has got another greyhound in the Regency final at Hove, Drumston Across, running from Trap 1, so he's desperate for success there. Let's just have a quick wander around. You can see that people are enjoying the services here. There's been a lovely buffet, people enjoying a cup of coffee. Ladies, can I just have a quick word? Would you like a quick word for Sky Television, please? Thank you very much. Now, obviously your first time in this restaurant. Have you been greyhound racing before?
Yes, I have. I've been several times. Yes, I enjoy greyhound racing.
Yeah, okay. And first of all, what do you make of the facilities here at Shelbourne Park?
Facilities are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. This is a beautiful facility here, this new rooftop restaurant.
Yeah, it is.
It's the first night it's open, I think.
First night it's open. What about the viewing here?
The view is fantastic from it, yeah. And it's a beautiful night, of course. Excellent night.
Tremendous night to open. Let's move along. Thank you very much. Let's move along here. You can see, in fact, I've just spotted someone over here I'd like to have a quick word with. Floyd Amphlett of the Greyhound Star. Hello, Floyd. And we're over here, of course, for the big race itself. What's your personal fancy?
I fancy Rapid Ranger, big style.
Yeah, okay. What about the draw, Trap 5? Bit of a worry, surely be heading towards the rails a bit?
Quite the opposite. I think if you look back on his history, his best run in the Scottish Derby was from 6. I think he's made to run from 5. I think he's away from the trouble in 1 and 2. I think he'll get a clear run on the outside.
Okay, there are a lot of English people here at Shelbourne Park tonight. I know there's various owners. I've seen plenty of trainers, plenty of English interest, plenty of people here. A jam-packed stadium. We're going back to Dave for more action here at Shelbourne Park.
But remember, we still have some thrills and spells.
Thanks, Errol. Yes, it does really look a sensational restaurant here at Shelbourne Park. Well, majority of greyhounds, of course, in training are actually bred in Ireland. While we're here, we thought it'd be nice to just show you some of the breeding operations. New Park Stud near Clonmel is one of the most successful in Ireland, owned and run by Anne and Sean Burke. 2 of their stud dogs have offspring in tonight's Derby final.
That's a Java. He was a very popular dog in England. You can see he broke his hock, and he broke his hock in the English Derby. He was favourite for the English Derby at the time. he was in the final of the English Derby. He was probably one of the youngest dogs in the final of the English Derby. Won the Pall Mall, broke the record at Hackney, and unfortunately he didn't get very many bitches in his first year, just about 12 bitches. But of the 12 bitches he got, there was 10 of them broke 29 seconds. So in the last year he's had probably over 100 bitches, so I think this year we'll be hearing a lot of him next year. I'll be very hopeful about his pups. Come on. There's the boy. Next we have Spar Nikita. Now, Billy is his pet name. He won the Guinness 600. His sister won the Irish Derby, Tina Marina, and he's a little brother of Minnie's Phantom. So they're super litter. He's a Phantom Flash dog. His dam was Dam of the Year last year, and in his first year he probably created all kinds of records. He had over 200 bitches in the first year.
Whisper Wishes was the dog that put you on the map. He won the 1984 Derby for Charlie Coyle. Mm-hmm. He was a sensation at stud. Yeah,
you know, when I went over to the Derby that year, and I helped Charlie. I was kennelled with him to start with, and then we went back and we just kept everybody steady for the week, and he won the Derby, and eventually we got him to stud. So he was probably the busiest dog that went to stud at the time. As you know, at that time, everything was the old way. Now we're changed. We're much better kennelling system for our stud dogs now. But at that time, he mated about 1,100 bitches, and he was a great judge of a bitch, because there was no testing at that stage. He'd only mate the bitches that were right, and he had a super fertility, nearly 90%.
Several miles away in Port Law, another breeding dynasty is presided over by brothers Michael and Sean Dunphy. The Droopies prefix is one of the best known in greyhound racing, but why Droopies?
Well, we once had a greyhound, probably now nearly 20 years ago, a white and black, mostly white with black ears, and we had a fellow working here, and he said, that dog is very like the dog in the cartoon. So he stuck the Droopies on him, so he was Droopy, number one, and his sister was Miss Droopy. So after that then, we started off the Droopies thing, and Droopy's Jaguar then was the first one, the first real good one we had with the Droopies on it.
Just a general word about your setup here. How many acres have you got?
We farm about 150, and we keep probably about a minimum of 70 and a maximum of 100 at a time.
And the pups have free reign over the whole area?
The pups would run free from about 12 weeks old till about now 10 months old, because we'd feel that at 10 months old, if they couldn't run then, they weren't going to be able to run anyway. So we would let them loose for that period of time, unless they became too troublesome with the neighbours or whatever. Like if they're going too far away, we'd start to restrict them then a bit, you know.
And when do you introduce them to the lead and start thinking about kenneling?
Yeah, at about 9 or 10 months old, then we would train to the lead and start galloping them, clean their teeth and their nails, and just handle them that bit more, you know.
Yeah. And generally on the state of Irish breeding at the moment, would you say it's in a healthy position, or are things a bit of a struggle at the moment?
I would have thought now that the breeding is improving again. There was a bit of a slump there before, and it seems to be getting a bit better now. Good dogs are making plenty of money at the moment. You know, Waterford, Kilkenny, the good ones like will sell well, you know.
And what percentage would you say of your dogs goes to England?
Oh, practically all, about 95 or 6%. Maybe if we're keeping a bitch for breeding, we would keep her here, but odd ones to America, odd ones to Sweden, but nearly all of them to England.
Quick insight there into what happens within the breeding industry. And Jonathan, in Ireland, it's massive, the breeding industry.
It's a massive operation. There's some outstanding breeders over here, and 5 of the Irish Derby finalists this evening actually bred over here. Well, one was bred by Alison Coxon up there, trainer Alison Coxon in Durham. That was Curry Kid in Trout 1, so they'll be flying a flag for that one this evening.
Great operation anyway. The greyhounds are on parade for our next race. They're betting as well. Let's catch up with that with Errol.
Yes, this race over 750 yards, that's 686 metres. Favourite is Who Knows, of course, owned by Barry Draper, but trained over here by Marie Gilbert, showing at 7-4 at the moment. Bubbly Prince, English Raider, trained by Patsy Cusack, drifting from 7-4 out to 9-4. Glensky Nijinsky, that's one of the local hopes here, currently showing at 2-1. You can see that's prominent in the prices. It's then after these main three, it's 20-1 about the reserve Casey Jones in trap 4, 25-1 trap 3, Tully Draw Gorge, and 33-1 Let Us Know.
Here's a look then at the predictor for this 9:35. Well, Bubbly Prince in trap 5 is way clear of anything else. Glensky Nijinsky in trap 2 looks to be its closest rival. Well, it looks a three-horse or three-greyhound race then on the betting. Let's take a closer look at one of the well-fancied ones. That's Who Knows, trained by Marie Gilbert. It used to run in England, didn't it?
Well, that's right. This is the first of the 3 British-owned greyhounds in this. This is owned by Barry Draper, of course, a trainer in England. Trained for this race by Marie Gilbert, a quarter-finalist in the English Derby. Great draw on the fence. Greyhound's got early pace and stays. Very recently, she was runner-up in the Silver Collar at Walthamstow. Also ran second in the Grand Prix here behind Frightful Billy. Smart draw, useful sort of greyhound, and should go close.
Nice trip for him as well, I think. What about Glensky Nijinsky in trap 2, trained by Paul Hennessy, who's had a few runners in England as well, winning well at this trip. I mean, this is the distance for him, isn't it?
Yeah. Big danger, I think, to Bubbly Prince out wide in trap 5. Glensky Nijinsky in terrific form, ran third in the Grand Prix there behind Frightful Billy. Interesting story about this greyhound. Was supposed to run over 860 yards last time. Had a problem with the trap. He then ran over 750 yards and, well, he put in a runaway performance, won by 14 lengths, 42.33. He's much improved since the Grand Prix. Not a bad draw either.
If he gets his head in front, he could actually hang on, couldn't
well,
he?
we know he stays on pretty well.
Here's Tully Draw George in the trap 3 jacket, trained by John Madden. Decent win of a small event last time, a bit more on its plate here, obviously.
Yeah, good form in the North of Ireland, the Tully Draw Gorge greyhound. Good form at Lifford back on August the 20th. Fair form here as well. He's got a 32.08 run for 5-7 yards here. Stepping up in trip for this event from last time. Certainly ran well behind Drumsna Eagle at Lifford, looking to do the double over at Shelbourne.
Trap 4 here is a reserve runner. That's Casey Jones in trap 4, trained by Edmund Newbanks, just slightly out of order in the parade, but here comes trap 4. She's won her last 2, not in emphatic style, Jonathan, but the draw's going to be in trap 1 last 2 wins, but in trap 4 today's going to be a problem.
That's great. This greyhound's come in as the reserve, Casey Jones, for this. She's a daughter of Westmead Merlin and Convent Queen. Well, she's a greyhound, you mentioned, in pretty decent form. Won at Dungannon last time, a time 45 dead, 780 yards. I think she's going to be up against it here, thrown in at the deep end, but, well, goes in there looking for the double.
Well, he looks the best of the British in the race. That's Bubbly Prince, walked in the parade by trainer Patsy Cusack. It's trained by Patsy for the Champagne Club, and they're all here, or a few of them are here, so they've got a great chance.
And they think this greyhound's got an outstanding chance. The 11-4 with Labrooks went early this morning, 9-4, something they were talking about this afternoon. Well, Bubbly Prince, we all know about him, the other side of the water, of course, is a Zarowich champion, the Boxing Day champion. What a well-bred greyhound as well. Dilemma's lad, Tessa's Dilemma. That's the litter this greyhound comes from. He arrived, I understand, in a Jaguar tonight.
Yes.
So clearly, I think the Champagne Club expecting a big run from the Patsy Cusack trained Bubbly Prince.
And the other English runner is Let Us Know, trained by Elaine Parker as well. This one I thought's got a little bit of a problem getting around trap 5.
Well, ex-Irish trained this greyhound, Let Us Know. He's been mixing with the Spenwood dogs over 8 Bend, Let Us Know. He's had a little bit of a break, then came out at Nottingham on Monday on the Puppy Classic final night and didn't disgrace himself, ran second on that occasion. I think the extra yardage here will be in his favour, and I think he'll improve for that run at Nottingham. He really was flying high with those 8 Bend races against the Spenwoods and Hollingwood, etc. He's better than that, Let Us Know, and I think his best days are to come, or her best days are to come.
One thing you do notice about this track is there are 21 bookmakers who bet here, all trying to make a living. And there's one of them, and let's check those prices with Errol.
And they were pretty accurate as well. Who Knows currently showing at 7-4 here in trap 1. Glensky Nijinsky did touch 9-4, but pushed back into 2-1. They're coming for Bubbly Prince now. That's down to 2-1. Was 9-4. I saw 5-2 on a couple of boards as well. So that's been taken probably by members of the Champagne Club. 20-1 about the reserve in trap 4, Casey Jones. 25-1 Tully Draw Gorge in trap 3. And at trap 6, Let Us Know at 33-1. Trained by Elaine Parker. Nice story. Elaine's already had a winner here. Of course, she trains her greyhounds over at Sheffield. She was successful in the very first race with Autumn Merlin, the hurdle racer, in our first race at Shelbourne Park tonight. So we've got co-favourites now, in fact. Who Knows, Glensky Nijinsky and Bubbly Prince, all showing at 2-1, Dave.
Looks like the members of the Champagne Club have taken the 9-4 about Bubbly Prince into 2-1. He does look the part, doesn't he, John? I mean,
he does.
He's walking around there.
This greyhound, of course, has got some top-class form, especially last year. Had a very bad injury sustained at Catford earlier this year, and we thought perhaps the end of the career was coming, but he's been bounced back, nursed back to health, and was superb at Romford last time. He's back to near his best, and I think if he's anywhere near that, I think he's going to take the world a beating. I think Let Us Know in trap 6, well, Elaine Parker's had a storming night already. She trained the winner of the hurdle race, which open proceedings here, Autumn Merlin, so they're going great guns. I think it will be a big price double if Let Us Know gets home, because of course we've got Bubbly to beat, and Who Knows.
Well, it's a fantastic night here at Shelbourne Park. The gates have almost been closed here. It is a tremendous crowd. They're packed. Looks like they're packed about 5 or 6 deep just behind the bookmakers alone here trying to get on. As we said, there are 21 bookmakers here, and well, they seem to all take each other on as well. How they all make a living, I never know, but I've never seen a greyhound track in England where they've got 21 bookmakers all vying their trade, but they have here as well. And it really is a fantastic atmosphere as well, and it's great to be here for Paddy Power night as well. And I bet there's not a lot of difference between those prices between one end and the next. They're all doing their best to get all these 6 dogs in the book. Well, they're loading up the traps then for this second race. Let's go and join Errol.
Well, I can tell you the bookmakers are taking on Bubbly Prince because they've pushed out 9-4, 5-2 on boards in front of me. They're all in. The hares moving then for this race over 686 metres. That's 750 yards here at 6 bends. Expect some good fireworks, hopefully, from some of the English runners here. Trap 1, Who Knows, drawn in trap 1. Perfect draw. Bubbly Prince, of course, has done so good for the Champagne Club, winning the Cezarowicz and the Boxing Day Marathon at Catford. Running from trap 5, and away they go then. And trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky, the local hope, out in front from 4. That's Casey Jones racing in the second place after his improving 1, Who Knows, railing well. So trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky in front from trap 1, Who Knows, racing in second. Then comes Bubbly Prince. The 3 main protagonists seem to have this race now, and Glensky Nijinsky leading here. Who Knows, not quite sure how to get past after some 3 lengths back to Bubbly Prince. They go down the far side for the final time, but still Glensky Nijinsky leading. But now Who Knows making a move on the inside. Bit of a roar coming up here as they come down towards the second last bend. Who Knows is taking the inside well and goes on fractionally from Glensky Nijinsky. Bubbly Prince is putting in a big finish as well. We could have a dramatic finish. Bubbly Prince on the far side coming through. It's close. Oh, trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky. Trap 5, Bubbly Prince, and trap 1, Who Knows, in a 3-way photo. Well, a thrilling race here over 686 metres. All the 3 main greyhounds crossing the line almost as one in the closing stages for this race. I've got a feeling that trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky, may have pinched it again coming back. It looked as though it was going to get beaten coming down towards the second last bend. Made a good start, did the local hope, trained by Paul Hennessy and owned by Mr. Ian O'Rourke. You can see it went round in front, chased quickly by Who Knows in trap 1. Who Knows had a few problems getting past trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky. You can see it switched track a couple of times, went for the inside, then switched off the rails, challenge on the outside. Just quite wasn't sure how to tackle trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky. Back in third, you can see Bubbly Prince was outpaced. Normally a front runner over the marathon trip, but slightly outpaced. There's been a big roar here go up. I believe that Glensky Nijinsky has been called the winner. Yes, it's been confirmed by the judge. So as they come off the final bend, it looks beat here, doesn't it, Glensky Nijinsky, as trap 1, Who Knows, first takes it up. Bubbly Prince finishing really powerfully on the far side, but coming again on this near side, trap 2, Glensky Nijinsky gets it on the nod again. Success for Paul Hennessy's Glensky Nijinsky then for Mr. Ian O'Rourke. And as they come up towards the winning line, it just pinches this race on the last stride here from Bubbly Prince in trap 5 back in second, and trap 1, Who Knows, in third.
Well, a great performance by Bubbly Prince, just couldn't quite make it, John. Did the draw have anything to do with it? Because the traps are pretty close to the first bend.
I don't think there are any excuses whatsoever, and a terrific performance from the two dogs. Come back up, who knows, look to have his measure round in the last bend. Bubbly Prince came up there on the inside, the Champagne Club, well, delirious behind me, and then on the wide outside, the two dogs picked them.
One of the main shopping areas here in Dublin is Grafton Street. Good job my wife stuck with me. She wouldn't get away from any of those shops in the town as well. And sweet Molly Malone, of course, she's one of the major statues in the city. And the big river that runs through the centre is the Liffey. And Liffey water, often referred to, of course, as Guinness in this part of the world. And plenty of Guinness being drunk in the restaurant upstairs, where they cater for all ages. Here on Paddy Power night, there's some youngsters as well, and they are race goers of the future. And the big one coming up shortly, the paddypower.com Irish Greyhound Derby final. That's just a half an hour away. Gives us time, though, between now and then to catch up with the SP from the last race with Errol.
Yes, there's the race over 750 yards, 686 metres, won by Trap 2. Glinski-Nijinsky, the 2-to-1 joint favourite. Second place, Trap 5, Bubbly Prince at 9-4. And third there, Trap 1, Who Knows, the other joint favourite in the race. The winning time was 42.16. That's not far off the track record. 42.01 is the track record for that distance.
Well, I'm joined here now by Pascal Tagot, who's nearest to me, who's the chairman of the Irish Greyhound Board, and Michael Field on his right, who's the chief executive. And start with you first, Michael. You must be very pleased with the way greyhound racing has grown in this country over the last few years.
Over the last 4 or 5 years, greyhound racing has made tremendous progress, and the crowds have returned. As you mentioned earlier, young and old have come, and they're here tonight from all over the country. Greyhound people, greyhound breeders, but also a vast number of people from corporate business and from all walks of life in Ireland. And they have, since we got our new facilities, they have all returned to the sport, and we're really proud of it.
There are plenty of other sports to take away the crowds as such. I mean, in that respect, you must be really pleased that you've held on to them.
Well, I think we have a great product. We have a night product, first of all, and they run for about 2.5, 3 hours, 10 races. They go off every 15 minutes. It's a fast, exciting sport, and I think young people really enjoy that. There's no standing around. Then the corporate people, they can come here in the evening, they can come after the office, they can bring their friends, bring their guests. So it's a very good product. As well as having many sports, other sports to compete with, Ireland is a great sporting country. We have the horse racing, of the hurling, of the football today, and many people would have travelled from the provinces today to the football match, and there's a big number of them here tonight as well to follow up.
Yeah, it's ended up being a 2-2 draw, which is not really the result you wanted, I'd imagine. Two up as well, you were at one time.
Well, we never mind when Ireland get a draw. It's much better than being beaten. We're more used to being beaten in the football. But we thought it was a good result tonight. And we had a great match today in Croke Park. We had the All-Ireland semi-final between Kerry and Armagh, and it finished in extra time. Kerry won it, and there's a Kerry-bred dog tonight in the final, Judicial Pride. So it might be a double for the Kerry people tonight.
Yes, I was watching it, Gary. Yes. I didn't understand it, but I was watching it this afternoon. Okay, on to you then, Pascal. You must be very pleased as well the way the prize money's in this country is much better than it is in England. It's getting better all the time as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've a long way to go. I mean, I'm not pleased at this point in time. I think it's reasonable. We've big ambition plans to double, treble it over the next 3 years, and that's when I'll be happy, you know.
But yeah, obviously there's plans to get more of a lever you get here than they get in England. We
that's
get
right,
like 0.2%, you get 20.
That's right. Well, at the moment, if it goes through, it's going through the various bodies.
Yes.
There's something like 900 million bet on off course, 5% tax is 45 million. So if it goes through, we get 20%, which is 9 million, which is phenomenal money for us. And if we get that, I can see £500 first prizes every race in 3 years' time.
So when do you think it's going to take 3 years to get it through? Because there's a problem with the horse racing side at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, but they'll probably get there. No, what'll happen is we've got about 40 million to spend in capital expenditure, so we can't give it all away in the first year. So in other words, we want to get Limerick built, and Mullingar, and Kilkenny, Dundalk, Galway, Waterford. So we're going to spend about 40 million on capex. Once that's out of the way, then a lot of money should go through to the owners and breeders and the prize money.
I was talking to somebody today who'd been to Cork, who were very impressed with that. That's completely been rebuilt, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, Michael and I have been all around the world, and we've been to Australia, America, UK, everywhere. And it's a world-class stadium, and for its size, it's probably at this point in time the best in the world. And it's just worth seeing. It's just, but We had a greenfield site there. We knew what we wanted. We got what we wanted. The architects, the builders, everybody did a good job.
And Michael, what do you think the future plans for as far as greyhound tracks are concerned? I mean, here, for example, they've done as much as they can for now. Do you see them being much better, doing other things as well as greyhound racing in the future?
Well, we're always looking at what we can use the facilities. We have excellent facilities now, and we'd hope to put them to many other uses, and maybe supplement the good life of a city or a town by having other facilities, maybe some extracurricular sporting facilities and things attached to some of the stadia, maybe using them for functions, maybe bringing them into line for conferences and things, even though the formation of our present stadia don't lend themselves to conferences. Maybe in the future we'd be able to build them as multi-purpose, and we'll certainly be looking at that in the next development we do in Limerick, because Limerick is a very vibrant city in a very good industrial area in the Midwest, and we'll plan at the start to build a very fine stadium, but one that might suit other things other than greyhound racing.
Okay, well thanks Michael, I think it's special.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. Very interesting.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Thank you. Well, we're off soon for the consolation for the Derby final. Early betting as well. I think they start betting after the previous race here. Errol's got Auto News.
Yeah, lively market already on the consolation final, of course, over 550 yards here, sponsored by paddypower.com. And of course, the favourite here at 9-4 is the English Greyhound Greenfield Deal, who ran in the Arc and of course reached the final of the Derby, back from 5-2 down to 9-4. Marina's Tina drifting from 5-2 out to 3-1. Jonestown Cash out from 3s out to 4-1. It's 6-1 Chandler's Park, 6-1 Wings of Speed. Official leader 8s. I can see 16-1 on one board in front of me, so it's drifting. Official leader.
Speaking as an Englishman, we'd like to see, of course, Rapid Ranger win the big one tonight. He's had a sensational year. Here's a look back at it.
All eyes on Rapid Ranger in a trap one then. It's not noticed as a brilliant starter, but away we go, and trap 2 Knock and Roll Rover gets a good break at the start, followed through by Rapid Ranger on the outside here, Kit Kat Kid, and on the outside of that one there's Knock Even Star. There's a bit of bumping round there and jostling going on, but it's Knock and Roll Rover's on the bunny and suddenly goes 2 or 3 lengths clear. One Rapid Ranger gives chase in second place. After these comes a trap 4, that's Knock Even Star. They go round the second last bend. Oh, disaster for 3, Ragged Jet at the back, but it's 2 Knock and Roll Rover chased up by Rapid Ranger. It's Knock and Roll Rover by a length, by 3/4 of a length in the end.
Ready to chase it all
And away they go. Ryfield Snowy in 4, cracks out in front. Pace up on the inside from Knock Even Star rushing forward. Oh, trouble there for Fat Boy Slim and also Springtime as they head down the far side, and it's Knock Even Star kicking clear here from Ryfield Snowy back in second. Knock and Roll Rover now trying to put a challenge for second place at the third bend. As they go around that turn, it's Knock Even Star well clear. Oh dear, trouble for Knock and Roll Rover there. Drops back into fourth as they come around the final bend. Only one winner here, Knock Even Star, who led at the first bend, keeps on to the cheers of the crowd here at Shawfield. As we go, and racing up towards the first bend, Rapid Ranger is out fast from Deerfield Sunset, then comes Barlow Club, and on the inside is Racket All Red. Jet as they go around the first bend, there's trouble there in the bend between 5 Smoking Bullet and 6 Barlow Club down the far side. Rapid Ranger is leading the way here by a couple of lengths from Racket All Jet, and then comes one Deerfield Sunset. It's Rapid Ranger leading by 2 lengths from Racket All Jet, who's putting in a brave performance behind. There comes Deerfield Sunset as they come off the final bend. It's Rapid Ranger stamping his class. He is the winner of the Williamville Greyhound Derby. Success to trap 2, Rapid Ranger. And they're off and running and racing up towards the first bend. Good start from 2 Deerfield Sunset, 3 Racket All Jet up with the pace, and here comes Rapid Ranger. Slightly crowded and bumped there. New leader then, Deerfield Sunset goes on, but moving up on the inside, Farlow Cobbler. Farlow Cobbler takes up the lead. Racket All Jet switches to the rails and making a big nuisance of itself into the third bend. It's Racket All Jet and 1 Farlow Cobbler. A little between them. Rapid Ranger had to check again. After this comes Deerfield Sunset off the final bend, and Racket All Jet goes for home. Rapid Ranger getting into full stride up towards the line. Racket All Jet holding on. Racket All Jet wins the Select Stakes.
Well, the paddypower.com Irish Greyhound Derby less than 30 minutes away now, and I'm joined by Paddy Power. Paddy Power, probably you're about the 4th in line, are you, Paddy? Because I mean, your grandfather started the firm, didn't he? Or great-grandfather, or one of those?
Something like that. The firm was actually only 12 to 15 years old.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it's just a slight family connection for me that goes a little bit further back, but my father was involved in the start of it, and now Paddy Power has built up from a pretty small entity about 12 years ago to what it is today, the biggest bookmaker in the country.
It's the first time you've sponsored this Greyhound Derby. You must be very pleased with the outcome.
We're absolutely delighted. It's the first of a 3-year sponsorship deal. And as you can see, you just have to look around you to see the success of it so far. The crowd is packed. It's possibly a record crowd here at Shelbourne tonight. The semi-finals are the same. You couldn't move in the place. And obviously the most expensive or the most valuable dog race, most expensive for us dog race in the world so far. And we're absolutely delighted with how it's gone so far.
Yes, it's a great crowd. It's going live to America, of course, the race tonight. I mean, the prize money's gone up progressively over the last few years. Do you see yourself putting more prize money into it in the years to come?
I think we will. We see as the event, hopefully the event will become more and more popular and increase in the whole public. Well, as you possibly are aware, I mean, greyhound racing in Ireland has become so popular the last number of years. So if that sort of popularity continues, well, obviously our sponsorship will obviously increase as the public popularity does.
You say you're very big bookmakers in Ireland. Are you trying to break into England as well?
Well, yeah, actually, in fact, we're going to be launching the paddypower.com website in the UK over the coming months. And we'll be introducing a good few special bets for prospective UK clients, which I think they'll be very interested in. We've already pledged that once a week we will have one unique special offer on the Paddy Power website when we do our launch in England. And those specials will be things like money back on losing bets at a football match if a player gets sent off, that sort of thing, paying out in Isterback the day before the champion hurdles run, all those sort of things, special bets that a lot of the big English firms wouldn't offer.
Good, well we look forward to that, Paddy. Thanks for talking to us and good luck in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Well, the Greyhounds on parade then for the consolation, and let's have a closer look at the 6 runners as well. And starting off with the runner in Trap 1, that's Shelbourne Park. And Shelbourne Park beat Curry Kid in the competition twice, Jonathan.
That's right, the Greyhound reached the quarterfinals of the Irish Derby here. He's owned by Fran McGurr, who owned the dog sire Shannon Slippy, of course, the English Derby winner of a few years back. This Greyhound, his first round hit was the one with Palace Issue, our own Palace Issue, sadly got knocked out in the 4th place. So this Greyhound for himself, it was runner-up in the Champion Stakes consolation to Racket Hall Jet. Very fast Greyhound, very, very strong, Dave. Great pitch on the fence.
Yeah, I thought so. He seems unstoppable when he's drawn in Trap 1 in some of his price races anyway. Here's the Trap 2 runner, Greenfield Deal. Matt Travers is in charge of this one at the moment. So formerly, of course, with Linda Jones in England, an English Derby finalist. Took a hefty knockdown in the semis.
It did. Ran 3rd, of course, in the English Derby behind the Great Rapid Ranger, owned by Charlie McGregor, the ambulance driver, now trained by Matt Travers. Of course, Linda had him over in England. Well, took a hefty bump. You're quite right in the semi-finals, but what a run in the quarter-finals. A track record run, 29.74, 2 lengths inside. At the time, Frisbee Flashing's great record. He's a very strong running greyhound who's discovered early speed since he's been over here.
Here's the Trap 3 runner, Johanstown Cash from Paul Hennessy's kennels. Everybody said this was desperately unlucky in the Derby semis.
Well, he was. He's going to look for compensation here. I think he'll probably get it, Johanstown Cash. Tricky draw, albeit in Trap 3. Has run some storming races in this event. Was, of course, the fastest first round winner. Went close to the track record on that occasion as well. I mentioned quite unlucky in the semi-finals, but a winner here at Shelbourne Park at the Tote Gold Cup. He also won the Kennedy Cup at Limerick and the Guinness 600 here. Fast greyhound, classy greyhound.
Here's the greyhound with almost certainly set to lead early on in the race. It's Marina's Tina in Trap 4 from Seamus Graham's yard. And this one, if it got out in front, the trouble behind it would hang on.
There's no greyhound faster to the bend than Marina's Tina in the whole of the evening's racing, Dave. Terrific early speed, Marina's Tina. Tough draw in Trap 4. She goes into this race as a classic champion. She's the Oaks champion here. 28.56 she clocked in that Oaks final. 28.40 the track record for 525, and that's held by the great Chart King. Supreme early.
Here's Trap 5 official leader from Eddie Wade's kennels. This one actually would have a bad draw, I think, drawn outside of 4.
I think you're right there. Greyhound who first came to prominence in the Millennium Puppy Stake earlier in the year. He's a greyhound who reached the final of the Produce Stakes at Thurles. He's behind the Wonder Dog, they tell us, Moyne Rebel. Terrific times. Moyne Rebel has clocked, and no disgrace for official leader to go down by that greyhound. Finished behind Rapid Ranger in the semis. A bit to find.
What about Trap 6? Jerry Melia's Wings of Speed did nothing but improve throughout the Derby competition.
There have been lots of Shrewdies over in the UK that would have probably retired had Wings of Speed won the Irish Greyhound Derby. Terrific hunt, anti-post Wings of Speed, and I'd say quite unlucky to go out the semi-final stage. Took a hefty bump behind Judicial Pride. We saw him run up to Farlow Cobbler in the Steel City Cup at Sheffield. He's improved since he's come over to Ireland. Great draw outside.
Well, they're the 6 contenders then for this Paddy Power Derby consolation final. Errol's got all the latest prices.
Yes, the Greyhounds on parade still for this race. The consolation final worth £2,000 to the winner, and again quite a topsy-turvy market here at Shelbourne Park for this race. You can see that at the moment trap 4 Marina's Tina is favourite. Did touch 3s at one stage, back into 5-2. Greenfield Deal opened up at 5-2, went into 9-4, stayed on that price for some time but has just started to drift. 11-4 out. In fact, you can get 3s on one board in front of me. Jonestown Cash, 4's biggest, but now back down to a solid 3-1, and it's then outside as Chandler's Park in trap 1 at 6-1. Official leader, you can see, is a huge price at 16-1. Still that price in front of me. In fact, now 20s, and Wings of Speed is 7-1.
Here's the predictor for the consolation. Trap 2 comes out on top, which is rather surprised. I thought trap 4 might well have done, but
well, on that,
yes, Greenfield Deal.
Well, on that 29.74, okay, it was eclipsed by Judicial Pride in the semi-finals, but that was a track record at the time. It was a phenomenal effort for this greyhound, who really has seemed to excel in the early part of the race. Greenfield Deal, we know how strong he is. We saw him running on very, very strongly from trap 4 behind Racket or Jet and of course Rapid Ranger at Wimbledon. And here we have that superb effort from Greenfield Deal. Of course, he's running out of trap 3 here and showing that early speed. All sorts of trouble in behind, and unfortunately Fatboy Slim, the Arc champion, he was in trap 4. He took a wicked tumble in behind, so it was a runaway victory for Greenfield Deal, but it was all about the clock. 29.74, he beats Ballyhone Cyclone. That's the dog in trap 1. That's the dog we'll see later on in the Irish Derby final. He's made the final. Greenfield Deal hasn't, unlucky in the semi-finals, but the clock never lies. That was a phenomenal effort, 29.74. Okay, Judicial Pride went quicker than that in the semis, but take nothing away.
If he reproduces it tonight, then he's home and hosed.
Well, I think the trap 3 dog's going to take the beating. I've gone, trap 2 did us a service in the last race. I'm going to go with 3 here.
Okay, they're all in. Let's get to Errol.
Marina's Tina, the favourite at the moment at 5-2, 3-1 Greenfield Deal, 3-1 Jonestown Cash. They then bet 6-1 Chandler's Park. That hasn't budged from its opening show. 8-1 Wings of Speed, and it's 20-1 Official Leader. Hair on the move then for the PaddyPower.com Irish Greyhound Derby consolation final. £2,000 going to the winner. Here comes the bunny. Anticipation for this race. Then away we go, racing up towards the first bend. A good start from 1 Chandler's Park. Pace up from 4 Marina's Tina, and that's going to go on. Marina's Tina goes on. 1 Chandler's Park moves off the rails and hampered Greenfield Deal. 3 slips into 3rd Jonestown Cash, heading down the far side. Trap 4 Marina's Tina with a long-looking lead at the moment. Some 4 lengths clear. Jonestown Cash goes off in chase in second. After this comes 1 Chandler's Park, but it's Marina's Tina on the bunny here. Some 3 lengths clear from 3 Jonestown Cash in chase in second place up towards the winner line. Marina's Tina by a length from trap 3 in second place. Jonestown Cash, then come trap 1 Chandler's Park. So Marina's Tina makes virtually all here, showing great pace up towards the first bend. Out of Tina Marina, who won the Greyhound Derby here just a few years back by Stablers Joe, trained by Seamus Graham and owned by CAC Syndicate. And you can see after trapping averagely, Marina's Tina certainly took off on the dash towards the first bend. Devastating early pace. Trap 1 Chandler's Park moved off the rails, which squeezed up Greenfield Deal, had no chance after then. Jonestown Cash tried to make a race of it. You can see it powering down the far side to go into second place, but just far too much ground to make up. And in the end, although it was a reduced margin, with every stride trap 3 Jonestown Cash was closing on Marina's Tina. She lasts home to land the spoils here by probably about a length at the winning line as they come towards the line there. You see trap 4 Marina's Tina winning from 3, Jonestown Cash and 1 Chandler's Park in 3rd.
Good win then for Marina's Tina. She'd only just hung on from the fast finishing second. She's been returned the 5-2 favourite of the consolation. Great win though, Jonathan, wasn't it?
It was a fantastic win. The Greyhound, you'd say she did miss her break, but what pace she showed to the first bend. Absolutely was set alight into the first bend, the Greyhound Marina's Tina. Her mother won the Derby. Tina Marina a few years back. She also ran up in the Oaks as well. Well, Marina's Tina actually went one better than her mother. She won the Oaks and she used that early pace to win the Oaks. We've seen her use that early pace to win the Consolation. Joannestown Cash put in a super run, but the early pace of the 4-dog just held on.
Done a 29.79. That's a very fast time around here, Marina's Tina. Well, the big one's coming up next then. Rapid Ranger. Is he going to make history? Is he going to be the first greyhound to win the English and Irish Derbies in the same year?
The final bend is Rapid Ranger, snapping his class. He is the winner of the William Hill Greyhound Derby. Success to track 2, Rapid Ranger.
Very happy connections of the Consolation win at Marina's Tina. There seems to be about 10 owners or part owners of Marina's Tina. She's a very fast bit. She only just barely gets to trip, but she just hung on, and she hung on at this starting price.
Very popular success, Marina's Tina, the 5-2 favourite, winning the Greyhound Derby Consolation final for the year 2000. Trap 3, Joannestown Cash, finishing second place there at 3-1 and third. Trap 1, Shelbourne Park. The winning time 29.79, a very good time there for Marina's Tina.
There's been plenty of betting activity, of course, on the big final coming up shortly. Let's just check out the latest prices that Ted Hegarty is offering here in the ring. Currently 6-4 at Judicial Pride and Rapid Ranger. They've both been backed on the track here. 5-1 for Curry Kid. 12-1 is Miss Tetley. 25-1 the two outsiders, Ballyho Cyclone, and Golfing Lad is 25-1 as well. We'll be hearing shortly from some of the connections of tonight's finalists just to see what they think about their chances. But let's first of all look back at how they got here.
Betting for the first semi-final of the PaddyPower.com Irish Derby saw English Raider Rapid Ranger in Trap 4 sent off the 2-1 favourite. Curry Kid drawn in Trap 2 was second best at 3-1. Joannestown Cash in 3, 7-2, and it was 8-1 bar. Away they go and racing up towards the first bend. Good start from Trap 1 official leader. The trouble there for Trap 5, Kalini Kingdom, that fell on the run-up. 2, Curry Kid takes over now, and Curry Kid goes on. Rapid Ranger moves swiftly into second place, but official leaders matching it for pace down the far side as they come down towards the second last bend. And it's 2, Curry Kid leading here. Rapid Ranger moves up into a clear second. Joannestown Cash trying to close also, and back in third now is 1. That's official leaders. They come around the final bend. Rapid Ranger goes on by half length and quickening away now. Rapid Ranger wins the first semi-final from Trap 2, Curry Kid, and staying on powerfully, Miss Tetley back in third. So Rapid Ranger winning for Charlie Lister in 29.94. The winning distance was 2 lengths. Second semi-final of the PaddyPower.com Irish Derby saw joint favourites in Trap 1 Marina's Tina and Trap 2 Judicial Pride at 5-2. Greenfield Deal in Trap 4, the English Raider at 3-1, 8-1 bar these. They're off and running and racing up towards the first bend. Good start from Trap 2, Judicial Pride. Leading here from Trap 1 on the inside, Marina's Tina. A bit of bumping there on the inside. Greenfield Deal wanted the rails and got badly balked as they head down the far side. And 2, Judicial Pride goes on and suddenly puts on a bit of speed down the far side. Got them well strung out as Judicial Pride leading at the moment from Marina's Tina, racing back in second. The others are grouped up as they come around the final bend. And it's Trap 2, Judicial Pride way out clear, running very wide off the final bend. But it's a trap to line success. Judicial Pride is the winner. Second place in the end going to Golfing Lad, running on in Trap 3, and back in third Ballyho Cyclone. So Judicial Pride there winning for trainer Michael O'Donovan, recording a new time here over the distance of 503 metres, a track record 29.66.
Well, he's a promising young pup. He stays very well. He hasn't been starting too well from the boxes here, but he's had 1 or 2 little niggles that might be cured over a period of time, and we've got him as right as we can for tonight.
Okay, what about your draw tonight? You're drawn in the centre, drawn with a white jacket.
Perfect.
Right.
Behind the 2 fast starters, I couldn't wish for any more.
Okay. And what are your realistic chances? Do you think you can scoop the prize? It's one of the younger dogs in the final.
If he gets a run and he does his best, he'll break the 30 seconds. If that's good enough to win the race, then that'll be whatever will be. He'll finish like a train, so we'll see what happens from there.
Very highly strung dog, very, very highly strung. Nobody's seen the best of the dog yet. There's no doubt, if you give him a trial or anything, 1 for 1, he'd be as fast as anything in the Derby. Nothing, but he just has a nervous disposition, and it's a worrying thing as a trainer. Yeah. It's just one of these things.
He's been lightly raced, hasn't he?
Very lightly raced. It's so hard to get him to the track with just niggly injuries, and then as I say, the nerves and everything, and he has a kidney problem after each race, it takes us 3 days to get him ready again. So it's just, but great to be there.
Right, Fraser, you got Miss Tetley through to the final as well. She's well drawn, I believe, in trap 6, but she's a powerful runner, isn't she?
Yeah, very powerful runner, clever tracker, won't get in trouble, and for a young bit, she looks to going to be a promising stayer, hopefully over the 6 bends. But tonight, she should give a good account tonight.
In the semi-final, she found a bit of trouble at various points. I mean, especially at the winning line, I couldn't help but notice she had her back legs taken away.
Very, very lucky. The 3 hit her and put her over, because we wondered when we're standing on the stand, we were disappointed. She thought she'd lead into the escape. It was only when we saw in the video that her back legs were taken away from her, and she was very lucky. If it happened a length a couple of yards before the line, we were gone. But that's racing. But
she's already reached a big final this year, the Oaks final. How did she run at Shelbourne Park then?
Again, coming from behind. She just has no early. You won't need to be looking for her at the front anyway. You can hopefully look in front and one at the back. But that's just, as I say, the 2 dogs are a bonus to be there, and hopefully a bit of luck. You never know. Finals are finals. It's just great to be in it for everybody, all the connections,
As you'd expect for a race of this class, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds changing hands down in that betting ring, and Ted Hegarty seems to be doing very good business. He very rarely turns down a bet. You can ask him whatever you want and he'll more or less lay you what you ask for. He's currently still offering those 6-4 each of 2, Jonathan. We've seen the contenders. Which whereabouts does your allegiance come down on?
Well, it has to be really with Rapid Ranger. I'm looking for history to be rewritten. Of course, ran 3rd in the Scottish Derby, then of course the English Derby. It's never been done before in the same season. I think Rapid Ranger is the type to do it. We always knew he was a fast greyhound. He was always amongst the first, second or third fastest greyhound in the country. But he's so consistent. He's become a perfect competition dog. He's tough as old boots. Got a lot more track craft now, and he was back to his best in the semi-finals. And we know what Charlie did ahead of the English Derby final. The dog trapped out very, very well. If he does that, he's going to be led to the bend by 1 and 2. There's no question of that. If they get in each other's way, he's going to be on the wide outside, and you'll watch him go down the far side. It has to be. I've got to go with Rapid Ranger.
Connection would be more happy with a 2 or 3 box, wouldn't they, than 5?
Well, I think, to be honest, I think they're happy to be away from the early speed of the track record holder and Curry Kid as well inside. So, yeah, perhaps maybe 4, but I don't think they would want to be too close to the early speed there, just perhaps to deny Rapid Ranger a run. He should be clear on the wide outside. Yes, he's more of a middle runner than anything else. He doesn't like trap 1, moves off from the 1 box. But I don't think 5 would be a problem. And they're all wearing orange bow ties. You see them behind us?
Yes, I saw that, yeah, some rosettes, yeah.
I hope they're successful.
The crowd building up then for the big race. Do they have, I'm not been here before, but you obviously have, Jonathan. Do they have a big roar like they do at Wimbledon?
Well, they do. They're a little bit more sensitive than perhaps we are at home. They tend to wait for the traps to open before the massive roar. They probably feel that they're putting the dogs off, which is quite right. But I think a lot of these greyhounds, with a couple of exceptions, as seasoned pros, certainly Rapid is.
Well, here's the parade. And let's look first of all at trap 1, Curry Kid, trained by Seamus Grant. This very fast up, this dog.
Yeah, British-bred greyhound. He ran 2nd in the Casco Unraced Stake at Thurles behind the brilliant Moyne Rebel. Ran in the semi-finals, reached the semi-finals of the Produce Stakes. Tonsillitis then, but he's back on great form here. He won the Derby Trial Stakes here, as well as reaching the Champion Stakes final. Got wicked early speed as Curry Kid. For me, Dave, he's got to lead. Well-bred greyhound, Spyro Nikita and Westmead Spirit. What stuff?
At 17 runs, 6 successes so far as Curry Kid, while Judicial Pride has won 10 from 21 starts. Well, we've seen this dog, of course, in England in the English Derby. He's got an excellent chance here.
Well, he's the hope of Ireland. Judicial Pride, track record effort in the semi-finals. Such a difference now than what we saw at Wimbledon. He never really ran Wimbledon. He wasn't happy. His weight was up. He's better back now on home soil. He goes into the competition, the only unbeaten runner.
Just gone clear favoured as well, Judicial Pride. Here's Ballyhone Cyclone, relatively lightly raced, only had 8 runs so far.
That's right, 9th race this evening, Ballyhone Cyclone. He'll be putting it in, no question, from the halfway mark. Ballyhone Cyclone, owned by Ernie Gaskin, the Walthamstow trainer, or his wife Dolores, trained by Mal Thomas. Remember Mal down there in Kent? He won the Kensington Ledger, he won the Regency. He's now based at Kildare. Great to see him back in the game, and what a wonderful story it would be.
Fraser Black, the trainer, has got 2 through to the final. Here's the first of his runners. This is Golfing Lad. Has, for me, the draw to overcome here.
Yeah, draw to overcome in trap 4. He's got to step quite carefully. Semi-finalist in the Champion Stakes is Greyhound. For me, he's improving. On the night, Rapid Ranger won the English Derby. He was winning in 28.64 here, as you mentioned. The first of Fraser Black's Greyhound. And, well, Fraser's had some pretty decent greyhounds over the year. Of course, he owned and trained this greyhound sire, Polning in Chief. He also had Right to Apply, who was behind Tom's the Best and Vintage Prince a couple of years back.
Well, here's the one 99% of everybody the other side of the Irish Sea wants to win. That's Rapid Ranger. Charlie Lister has really done marvellous with this greyhound this season.
He has, and Rapid Ranger, he's such a tough customer now, perfect competition dog. Well, Tico tried it, Farlow Melody tried it. They tried to win the Irish Derby after winning the English Derby. They both ran for 3rd. Can Rapid Ranger do it and become the first greyhound in the same year? I think he can.
And here's Fraser Black's second runner. This is Miss Tetley. This one's got to do it the hard way. She's got to come from behind.
Got to do it the hard way, but she's the youngest greyhound. She'll be improving all the while, and Marina's Tina, well, she's just franked the form, I think, for Miss Tetley. This greyhound ran 3rd in Marina's Tina's Oaks final, and Miss Tetley has reached the final of the Derby. She's improving. She's wide outside. She's a strong running greyhound. If the front runners make any mistakes, she'll need no second invitation. She's a strong running sort.
Well, they're not sure in the betting ring behind us what to make. Favourite here between Judicial Pride and a Rapid Ranger. Errol can tell us which is which.
Well, I can tell you they're both showing at 7-4 now. Judicial Pride, Ted Hegarty keeps on pushing up 7-4. He's been knocked over again. It's back down to 6-4 with Mr. Hegarty. It's 7-4 about Rapid Ranger, just drifting out from 6-4. They then bet 11-2 trap 1 Curry Kid. It is 12-1 at trap 6 Miss Tetley. 14's the biggest scene there. Ballyhone Cyclone in trap 3 at 33s, and trap 4 Golfing Lad, also double carpet.
Here's the predictor. See which way Peter Meldrum thinks it's going to go this evening. Well, he's gone just for Judicial Pride. It's probably by about a head, it would seem, from Rapid Ranger. That's how most people see the race, Jonathan, isn't it?
Well, I think so. I think on the time-wise, which Peter we're well aware of, he's gone for Judicial Pride just really on that last week's run in the semi-finals. Of course, this greyhound was a semi-finalist last year. He also ran up to Frisbee 4 in the Consolation Derby final. He's been about, he is the oldest greyhound, but really he's never run better. That time last week, 29.66, for me, says it all. But Rapid Ranger looking to not only land the £60,000 prize, but also the £40,000 bonus as well for doing the double. He's a tough sort. That'd be a grand story. You remember Ray White, he owned Vintage Prince, who came back from the brink to run up behind Tom's the Best, and of course in that same race was Some Picture, trained by Charlie Lister and bidding to do the treble. Won the Scottish Derby, won the English Derby. He was a sick dog in the final. Tom's the Best then came out the following year, won the English Derby.
Yeah, plenty of greyhounds have done that, haven't they? But not on exactly the same year.
Well, that's right.
That's the history maker.
Why trap 5 there with the orange jacket, Charlie Lister's dog, looking to tear up the record books and start all over again.
Well, they're about to load into the starting traps. There is Charlie Lister with trap 5, Rapid Ranger, and he ran well in the Scottish Derby. Of course, he romped away in the English Derby, and let's all hope from an Englishman's point of view he romps away with this one as well. But Judicial Pride is obviously the main danger. They're loading up into the starting traps then for the PaddyPower.com Greyhound Derby, described by Errol Blythe.
It's a terrific atmosphere here at Shelbourne Park. I can tell you that Judicial Pride and Rapid Ranger both at 6-4 on the boards in front of me. They're backing 6-1 about Curry Kid, was 11-2, now back to 6-1. I can tell you then it's 12-1 Miss Tetley in trap 6. Ballyhone Cyclone in trap 3 at 33-1, and Golfing Lad at 33-1. Did you hear the roar? The hare's on the way then for the PaddyPower.com Irish Greyhound Derby final for the year 2000, over 503 metres. We're in for a real crackerjack of a start. Expect the early pace from Curry Kid in 1 and Judicial Pride in 2. Can Rapid Ranger overcome what looks a terrible draw in 5? Away we go. Judicial Pride bombs out in front. Ahead of 1 Curry Kid. After this comes Rapid Ranger up in chase in second place as they go round the first bend. And Curry Kid trying to nip through on the inside of Judicial Pride. But Judicial Pride is having none of it and goes on now. Goes 2 or 3 lengths clear. Rapid Ranger moves swiftly into second. That's the major threat as they come down towards the second last bend. But Judicial Pride still remaining 3 lengths clear from Rapid Ranger, who's trying hard to close. After these comes Miss Tetley as they come up towards winning line. Judicial Pride's going to win by a couple of lengths. Trap 2, Judicial Pride wins the PaddyPower.com Irish Greyhound Derby for the year 2000. Scintillating display from Judicial Pride. Connections there, really, really happy. Michael O'Donovan, the trainer, of course, and owned by Pat Daly in Cork. And they'll be celebrating tonight because Judicial Pride, who holds the track record here at Shelbourne Park, has put in another perfect performance. From trap 2, belted out of the traps. You couldn't ask for a better start from Judicial Pride. Curry Kid moved up on its inside. Rapid Ranger just clipped there. Trap 3, Ballyho Cyclone. At that point, you can see that trap 6, Miss Tetley, was outpaced, and Golfing Lad never in with a shout, really, as they head down the far side towards the second last bend. Judicial Pride turning on all the taps. Some 4 lengths clear here. Rapid Ranger tried so hard to keep tabs with Judicial Pride, but despite running wide again off this final bend, Judicial Pride goes on to land the spoils. A great performance, a great winner for this year's Irish Derby. So disappointing at Wimbledon was Judicial Pride, but he set the record straight here. Don't forget, as a mere youngster last year, he took part in the Irish Derby, reached the semi-finals, and then ran in the consolation final, running up behind Frisbee Full. Here it looked as though Curry Kid, if it just bumped Judicial Pride, we could have had a completely different story, but he managed to overcome that rival halfway down the far side, and Judicial Pride quickened on. Such acceleration into the third bend. Rapid Ranger had no answer. Another brave performance from this greyhound, though, who's taken part in the Scottish Derby final, the English Derby final, of course the winner of that, and going on to finish second here behind Judicial Pride. And back in third, a good word for Miss Tetley, running really well for Fraser Black.
Judicial Pride's done a 29.68. That's 2 spots outside of the track record here. A sensational win for Judicial Pride. Flew out of the traps and they never really saw which way he went. Rapid Ranger did his best, Jonathan. Do you think the draw had any effect on the result?
I don't think so at all. I think both dogs ran absolute tremendous race. Judicial Pride, he was so game round the second bend to shrug off the challenger Curry Kid. Rapid Ranger, yes, in trap 5, he's tacked across slightly, but I think Ray White, his owner, will be, of course, he's going to be bitterly disappointed, but he would have known that his greyhound's on an absolutely storming race against a runner who's at the peak of his form at the moment. He proved that with the track record run last week, and he's gone just 2 spots outside that today. So phenomenal effort from Judicial Pride. I don't think there are any excuses whatsoever. Rapid closed into the third bend. Judicial pulled it out even more. Rapid stayed on, and Miss Tetley, well, the youngest runner in the race, she's come out of the clouds, and what a wonderful thing to run third in the Oaks and also third in the Derby. But Judicial Pride, a worthy winner.
Yeah, a great win as well for trainer Michael O'Donovan. I mean, to have a greyhound like that, he got it to a certain stage in the greyhound derby. Now he's gone on and won the Irish equivalent.
He's the master, isn't he? I mean, tremendous effort. Charlie had Rapid Ranger there with every chance. The dog, for me, has run a fantastic race. He's popped the lids.
Well, the crowd seem as though they're all getting in the queue to draw. It was a great win for Ireland. Sad for us English people regarding Rapid Ranger. But Michael O'Donovan's about to be interviewed by Tracy Piggott for RT. We're going to join the interview as well when she starts, and she's just up to lining up. Michael, let's go and join Tracy.
Fantastic success. You did it so well.
Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, everything went right on the night. He got out of the traps and he proved that he was the best dog in it. He deserved to win it.
He's got some speed.
Yeah. He showed that from the very start that he was something special. So
you're joined by your right-hand man, Mike.
Yeah, Mike Reedy.
How long's Mike been with him?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It's down to him and me, both of us.
What's the feeling like, Mike?
Oh, it's great to win it anyway, isn't it?
He's a super dog. What sort of personality is he?
Lovely, beautiful dog, beautiful.
And the plan now?
Probably stud, I'd say. I don't know. I have to speak to the owner.
Is Pat not here? Pat Daly, the owner.
There. Yeah.
He's over there. Let's bring over Pat. Where's Pat Daly? Can we bring Pat over?
Pat.
Bring Pat over. No, we can't find Pat. He's talking to the Taoiseach. Well, many, many congratulations anyway, and the best of luck with him if he goes to stud. Well done. Well done.
Yes, a great win for Judicial Pride. It was evens each of two. Which one was going to be favourite? Everyone can tell us which one was.
They ended up joint favourites, Dave, for win then for Trap 2 Judicial Pride in the PaddyPower.com Irish Greyhound Derby final. 6-4 joint favourite. Second place, Rapid Ranger, a brave race from Rapid Ranger. 6-4 joint favourites in second there. Back in third, Trap 6 Miss Tetley at 12-1. The winning time 29.68, as Dave pointed out, just 2 spots outside his own track record.
Well, there's the Irish Prime Minister's involved in the presentation, as well as the Deputy Prime Minister's in there as well. I mean, everybody seems to be around this presentation. No doubt to a circle of honour as well, but now I think they did in Wimbledon.
Well, that's right, yes. The cork man, the cork owner, Pat Daly, surrounded by a host of well wishers. A great fillip for his breeder, Michael Walsh, down there in County Kerry. What a litter that was as well. Thorgill Test, Don's Pride, September 97, contained Texas Don and Blue Tex, as well as the Irish Derby champion, Judicial Pride.
Well, it's been a superb evening here at Shelbourne. We've also got more greyhounds to come. Well, we're going to come live from Wimbledon in just over a week's time, a week on Tuesday, in fact, for the William Hill Puppy Derby final. That competition started this evening with 7 live races to come there. It's going to be on Sky Sports 3. It starts at 8 o'clock, and I'll be there as well, and Jonathan will be with me, and let's hope for a great night there that we've had here tonight.
Superb. It's been absolutely great, and mine's a Guinness, David.
Yeah, Judicial Pride. I mean, it's just sensational, isn't it?
Exactly. We're going to go upstairs and certainly share a celebratory drink with them, and they deserve it because the dog has run a super Irish Derby final. But then saying that, he's done that throughout the competition, unbeaten. It takes some doing. But no disgrace to Rapid Ranger, 3rd in the Scottish, 1 the English, 2nd in the Irish. What a wonderful greyhound.
Yeah, briefly, you have to say very hard luck for Charlie Lister and
yeah, hard luck. I don't think any excuses whatsoever. I think on the night the better dog won, no question about that.
I hope you've enjoyed it here from Shelbourne Park in Dublin. It's been a great night for us as well. We'll see you again soon. The night belongs to Judicial Pride and Michael O'Donovan. Hey-ha from Dublin.
On the 4th of July, 1806, we set sail from the sweet cove of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. 'Twas a wonderful craft, she was rigged for